Hi, Liz Eglin here. In this video, I wanted to show you how I am using PDFs that students can type and draw on in Class Notebook in Microsoft Teams. So one of the first things I would do is just go and get the handout that I want to use in class. And this is actually two. So I'm going to print this. Now, usually I would go to download and just save that on my desktop, but I'm going to go to the print option, and then where it says destination, I'm going to save as a PDF. So I'm going to save that, and I usually like to label it PDF. And this is vocabulary. Okay, and then I'm going to save that to my desktop so I can make sure I find that later. And then I'm going to get out of that. And then I'm going to go to the OneNote for Windows app. And you can see I've kind of played around with this before. Then I usually go to my content library. Now I can also go to teachers only. And I would type in okay, that's the story. So at this point, I'm just going to click in, in my blank sheet here, and then I'm going to insert. And actually, I'm just noticing this print out button here. I don't think I've seen that before. I have to make sure I'm in desktop. Let's see if that works. Okay, and it does. Now, typically, I go to File. Okay, so I'm actually going to just delete this. And then I'm going to resize. Okay, then I'm going to click on my document and right-click, and then set picture as background. Okay, so at this point, students would not be able to move this around. And now I'm going to tell students to click on draw, even if they're going to type, and the default goes to this select objects or type text. So this is where they could, they don't really have to type their name in OneNote because, it's going to be in their notebook. So at this point, actually, I would probably distribute this into the class notebook. And then, pick whatever notebook over here usually. But I would tell students, so go to draw. And then, they could type whatever they want to here. And then if they wanted to select the pen or pencil or anything like that, they're going to click here and then they could write. So like they could circle, their answers like that. And also, if they click on this little down arrow, then they can, change the pen. And there's some cool pens there. Now, again, I don't know. It might depend on what version they have. So if they don't have the app, I'm not sure these always work. Okay. So they could just write on this. And again, I didn't resize this one, so it's small. So I would make sure that they definitely were typing, because it is really hard. Oh, see, I actually can. I didn't set this to background. So you would see that students would be able to delete that. They would definitely be able to delete that if I did not set it to background. So I'm going to set picture to background. And then you want to make sure to tell them they have to click this select box to be able to type, to go from pen to typing, okay? Because if they don't, they're not going to be able to switch to typing. But they could just, click in their answers. You don't have to create text boxes or anything like that. Okay. Now, can you move it around? Yes. And you can also delete just with the back arrow. Okay. So now if I wanted to go ahead and go back into my teams, the same notebook I edited, I would have to remember, like, what notebook was that? You know, and I have to kind of remember, like, where did I put that? And again, when I'm having people go into teams, I want to let it load. I think one issue a lot of people have is they don't let it load and they just start getting, you know, frustrated that it's not working. I always want to click open this navigation panel. So again, this is what I had just created in the other, you know, in the other, the app. Okay, so the app for OneNote. Now I'm in the app for Teams. So again, you are, you know, kind of jumping around a lot. This is where I go if I want to distribute page. And a lot of people have been asking me, you know, can I distribute to various notebooks? Yes, I believe there is cross notebook, you know, what they call cross notebook distribution. I don't. I basically do everything 5 times for all my classes just because I found out it doesn't sync as well if I try to do it in all of them. And then somebody else, I was on a message board for Microsoft Teams on Facebook, and somebody else was saying that you can recall pages. Now, I have never seen that. I would like to learn how to do that, because that would be great, you know, if you actually double post something. But what I want to do now is create an assignment and link it to that notebook page. So I'm just going to go to assignments, and then I'm going to create, and I'm just going to click on assignment, and I'm just going to say, you know, vocabulary in class notebook. I'll just do PDF. Okay, so at this point, when I go into add resources, you'll see there's a class notebook tab here, and I would have to go in where I put that. So I'm thinking, okay, I must have put it in the content library. And you have to find that exact place where you put it. And again, you have to let it load. And again, does it, you know, sometimes take longer to load? Yes, it does. You just have to wait. And again, I'm looking, and if you see, I again had to click that again. So this is my vocabulary PDF for an unforgettable journey. Now I have to pick where I'm going to put that in the student notebook. So these are notebooks I had set up as samples, but with my students, I'm going to put it in their collection 1. And again, this is just a sample notebook, but you can see the default is students edit their own copy because it's a PDF and it's set as a background, so they'll be able to write on it. So I would do like complete the handout in your class notebook. Now, is this something I would grade? Probably not. And the reason is it would take me a lot of time to go into those notebooks and do that. It actually, and when you do it for like 110 students, you know, sometimes like I might have success grading like the first 4, and then like it starts to slow down, and then sometimes I'm not able to open them. So again, this is better for practice activities. Oh, I'm just noticing I can do that. So you learn something new every day. So, you know, and I could put links here, you know, maybe something, you know, to the textbook or something. So at this point, and I'm having problems where I can't assign things in the future, but, you know, I'd fix my due date. And then I'm going to assign that. And when they click on it, then that should take students to the online notebook. Okay, so let me just kind of play around in that. So what I do just to check this is go to student view to see where it takes me. And there we go. Okay, now I'm seeing, okay, there's, the edit in the OneNote app, edit in browser. Again, it has the same features, the draw, or the type. And then they could also draw by clicking on the pen. Now again, do they have the rainbow? No, they don't. Not in this. Now if they had the OneNote app, it would take them to the app. So they can make that as thick as they want. Wow, that's crazy. Okay, so they actually can pick other colors though. And again, there's erase. And then one thing, I don't want to get in there, but one thing I do show them is the undo button, where they can go back and forth. And again, not all of them are going to be able to open the app. And another thing I tell them is they don't need to save this. Everything in OneNote saves or syncs, automatically. So that's not something they need to keep saving. Okay, so that's it. That's how to create an assignment in Class Notebook of a PDF that students can edit. So I hope you like this video. As always, give me a thumbs up and smash that bell to subscribe. Thank you very much for watching.